Welcome to today's video. This is episode 1 of Roblox tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at variables in Roblox in terms of how they are stored and the code behind some of them. First off, the different types of variables. If we go to the Explore tab, click the plus next to Workspace, and then we can go down to these values. Now these are not variables as such, but they can be used as a variable in a way. A bool value is very simple and can either be true or false, as shown by this check mark. True, false. Very simple. We're going to translate a bool value over to a program. We like saying local bool equals true, or local bool 2 equals false. The second value we are having a look at is the brick color value. This is a Roblox specific value which stores a color which you can put in, like deep orange, and at any point we can read that and assign it to a brick in the world. So let's say we've got this one part on here and we want to assign the brick color. But one thing that you can do is say like game.workspace dot spawn location dot color dot brick color equals game.workspace dot value dot value. This will set the brick color of this block, in other words the color, to the value set. Brick color is just, instead of any color, a list of predefined colors that you can set from. Next up, the Z-frame value. This declares the rotation and position of a part. So if we were to change this to be 10, 10, 10, so go to position and X 10, 10, 10, and then we set for rotation, let's rotate it by 45 degrees in the X and Z axis. Now, like we did for the spawn location for the color, we can do the same thing for the spawn location. That Z-frame, instead of color, equals game the workspace the value the value. As you can see, it has moved over here. The next value is color free value, which is pretty much the same as brick color value. However, you get more access to the colors. So instead of limited, you get all of the colors. Next up is value. This stores an integer, which is different to the number value. If I add them both, they look the same but are very different. Int value cannot store decimal numbers. So if I type in any decimal number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, first we get an error in the output, and if we go back, it clears. However, number values can store decimal numbers. Next up, objects value. This lets you assign an object to it, any object in the game to it. Carry on, we've got the wave value, which I'm going to be straight up honest with you, I have no idea what it does. I believe it can store information about a waycast, but I am not 100% sure. String value can hold a string, literally any string of any length. Well, not of any length, it's like a high limit of a decent amount of characters. Finally, the last value, vector 3. This is similar to Z-frame, but does not contain rotation, only for position. Now, in terms of code, as I've demonstrated earlier with the bool value, A variable is defined by just naming the variable. Let's say variable foo equals 0. That is now officially a variable. Well, if we were going to be more specific, a constant, the main difference between a variable and a constant is that a variable is changed at one time and a constant is not changed at one time. Now, even though this works, what we normally do is a local in front. Local means that it is only in that part of the script. So if it's just in root, it's not a big deal. But, for example, if this is a function, which we'll cover on more next time, if we set foo to 0, notice this orange line, and if you hover over it, it says foo is only used in the enclosing function test, and consider changing it to local. That's because there's two types of variables, local and global. Global variables are like this foo outside equals 4, because anything can access it. I can like say print this foo outside, and it'll print 4. So the thing with foo inside is that if you want a global variable, you would normally declare it outside the function as well to make it easier to read. But for example, if foo wasn't declared outside and we put the print foo down here before we call the test function, foo isn't defined because we have not called this function to decline foo yet. So this will just error. Also, setting it to local, this foo down here is never declined. It will just be an unknown global. So having a local in front can really be useful. It also means you can reuse variable names in some situations, but it is not recommended to. As this is lower, variables are lightly coded. I use lightly here, but there might be another term which is more accurate. Lightly coded means I can set like door equal to spawn location, for example. But then we just like run some code here. Door equal to true. And it's fine with that. It will change door to true. In the script, these variables or constants do not have to have a value declared. They can pretty much be anything. That is all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. The next video will be next week, and we will go over functions and the different kinds of scripts. Anyway, see you next week.